number 89 on the Iconic 100 list is the Mario Lemieux 1985 O-Pee-Chee rookie card. And here to talk with us about this card today, somebody who I know loves hockey, I know loves this card in particular, Jeremy Lee from Sports Cards Live. What do you think about where this one came in at number 89, Jeremy?
Well, as you know, I'm a hockey guy, Adam. I'm happy it made the list at all. To know that it's on the top 100 iconic cards is special. As far as hockey overall goes, it's got to be Mario Lemieux is commonly known as right up there with Wayne Gretzky, a top 5 player of all time, if not a top 2. The fact that his card and hockey not being as mainstream in the United States as it is up here in Canada, I'm glad it's on the list. 89 is a fine place for it. I likely ranked it much higher on my personal ranking of the top 100 when I filled out the ballot. So I'm okay with that, and I'm just glad it's on the list, Adam.
I wish that we gotten more representation on this list. As we go throughout this one, people are going to say, where's the hockey? I wish there was more. I personally had this card much higher because I don't know hockey perfectly. I don't know it nearly as well as you do. But when I think of the 1980s, I think of Wayne Gretzky. And then, like you say, I think of Mario Lemieux, maybe a Steve Yzerman in there too. But like that's kind of the group that I sort of remember hearing about when I was younger. And as far as Mario Lemieux goes, this is the card. So how many hockey cards would you think are gonna make the whole of the list? How many are you hoping for?
Well, now that I know that Mario Lemieux ended at number 89, I'm gonna guess that there's probably 5 hockey cards on the list, would be my guess, and that's without me really going through it in detail in my own mind. But I don't want to say what those other ones will be. I'll leave that as the countdown progresses. But 5, I'll go with 5. Am I close?
You are close. You're really close.
Okay.
I actually don't have the number right in front of me, but it's going to be right around there. I personally, I'll tell you, I had this card at number 42 on the list. So for me, I maybe didn't know so much about the vintage hockey that earned, quite a few votes as well, the older stuff. But again, this is a recognizable card, a recognizable player, and he extends out of the world of hockey, into the sort of more like our culture knows who Mario Lemieux is. And so I think it's a little bit, I think it's lower than I would have liked to seen it, but like you, I agree that it's really cool that it's on the list at all. Is there anything else about this card that you think that people should know or should look at when thinking about buying a copy?
Yeah, first of all, it's a very condition sensitive card in terms of centering. Centering's tough on the card, not as tough as others, but I do find it to be tough. The card came out in late 85, early 1986. I remember I bought my first copy at my LCS, as a young teenager for 25 cents. I bought it as a single. And, back then you couldn't find many singles. You were buying cards in packs, but I had an LCS. I bought it for 25 cents Canadian. And I had that particular copy graded much later. I think I had it graded in 2008. It came back, I had it graded by PSA, it came back in 8. Oh, wow. And I don't have that copy anymore. Regrettably, I ended up selling it because I had upgraded to a 9. I do have that here, right there. So I do love the card. It's where I find it's interesting is where it dips right down here. This part of the card here can often throw off your visual assessment of the centering, but as you can see, sometimes it can be a beautifully framed card by the border. So it's a unique design. It's one that we've never really seen something like it before. At the time, I remember thinking, what a cool, neat aspect of the card. Again, being just this, having the logo there. Usually the logo is going to be carved out in a different way. I think it's a great card. And it's one that is, even at number 89, that is, you think, as I said, I'm glad it's on the list. It is low on the list compared to how talented and skilled he was. He won Stanley Cups. He's now the team owner. The Mario Lemieux does, he transcends the sport, not like Wayne Gretzky does, but he's a very important player. First ballot Hall of Famer, maybe even an early Hall of Famer. I believe he might have been able to sort of skip the 5-year mandatory wait period. I think he came in his first year after retirement. Actually, he was elected to the Hall of Fame, and then he retired. Sorry, he was elected to the Hall of Fame, and then he came back and played again. So that was pretty interesting.
Heck, there can't be too many guys who've been able to say that. Well, as far as hockey cards go, like I say, I think of the Gretzky, take this for what it's worth, because I'm not a hockey guy. I think of the Gretzky, and then I think of this card. One last question, does this card also have a Topps version, and how does it compare to the O-Pee-Chee?
Yeah, it does have a Topps version. They look the exact same on the front. The back, the only difference is sort of the tone of the stock, or the tone of the ink actually that was on the stock. The stock's different as well. So there is a Topps version. The O-Pee-Chee is a brighter card on the back. I do prefer it. I happen to own both copies. I just wanted to round that out, and got good value on a high grade Topps back in the day. And one thing I just want to mention again about Mario Lemieux and this card, for anyone who's looking to start dabbling or getting into collecting important hockey rookies, I would say that, outside of some of the earlier vintage cards from the, like the players that'll be on this list later, I'm sure, from the 50s and 60s, if you have a Wayne Gretzky rookie card and you want a second hockey card in your collection, I would easily advise this as your second card.
Awesome. Again, that's card number 89 on the Iconic 100 list, the Mario Lemieux O-Pee-Chee and Topps rookie card. Tomorrow we'll be back with card number 88 with another guest. And until then, happy collecting.